I'm John Clark on the Georgia News Network, and this is a visit with Dr. Duffy Jones of the Georgia Veterinary Medical Association for tips on holiday travel and boarding your pets. Dr. Jones, first of all, what are some of the basic things you should think of before you go on vacation around the holidays with your pet?
Well, I think some of the big things you need to think of are is your pet going to travel with you, or are you going to leave it at a boarding facility? We have some pets that travel great, have no problem with transition between different houses, being in the car, being on airplanes, other things like that. And then we have some other pets that just don't make that transition and don't travel very well. And so if you have one of those pets that doesn't travel very well, it might be a good idea just to find a really good boarding facility. The dog might actually be happier, there than actually with you, which is sometimes hard for our owners to accept, that they'd rather be with their dog through the holidays. And then looking for a good boarding facility, having a good relationship, having your dog or cat have been there before always makes a big difference in having them feel comfortable while they're there.
What should you look for in a boarding facility? What should you visit it first and do a little research?
Yeah, research is always great, just hearing what other people say about it. And the best thing to do is just have a trial day with them, and a lot of the places will do this. They'll let you drop your pet off for the day. You can see how your pet responds to the facility, see how you like it, other things like that. We have some pets that really board great, just like they travel great, and then we have some other ones that just don't board very well. They get very stressed out, and they can get upset stomachs and other things like that. One of the keys to boarding is that when you have a puppy, if you're ever going to board them later in their life, it's always good to start when they're young, so they're used to it. They kind of understand the routine and other things like that. Sometimes it's very difficult to board an older dog for the first time, especially in the holidays when it can be crowded. But going to visit and just talking with the people and just getting a general feel of, how the facility is, how clean it is, how nice the people are, other things like that can give you a good idea if this is a good spot you want to board your pet.
What about, you mentioned an older dog. In that case, is it better to keep the dog at home and have someone come in and take care of him there?
Most of the time, especially with these older dogs, especially if they have medical problems and they've never really boarded before, that can be a lot of stress. And so we do have a lot of pet sitters that will come into your house, stay with the pets, and we just find that for a lot of these older guys, it can really make a difference. They keep in their same routine, and it really helps to keep them from getting sick while boarding and keeps their stress level down.
This has been a visit with Dr. Duffy Jones of the Georgia Veterinary Medical Association. I'm John Clark on the Georgia News Network.